Hello there. Welcome back to The Bleeding Truth. My name's Sally McNally. I'm the Irish midwife.
And I'm Bridget, Sally's daughter.
We're here with part two about my own story about having a hysterectomy.
Yeah, and it's been a while, so I know the recovery has obviously gone well, but
Yeah,
um, there's been a lot of questions about how it went.
I know, and I really am grateful to all of you beautiful people who were worried about me first, and all of you who are curious about my story in this part of my life. It went really well. I'm so excited that I'm on this side of the surgery, and now I want to tell you about it. So that if you're thinking that you may need a hysterectomy for any reason, whether it's preventive surgery like what mine was, or maybe something more serious, that you already have a problem that you have to have a hysterectomy, listen carefully to my story. It's not maybe as bad as you're thinking.
Good.
The first thing I wanted to say was why I think it's not as serious is that we don't need our uterus and ovaries to like stay alive. So once they're taken out, all your bodily functions like your kidneys, your bowel, your circulation, your respiratory, all of the other parts of you works just like normal. Uh,
Mhm.
so so that's a kind of a plus to that type of gynae surgery. I mean, of course, it can be painful and stressful, but yeah, once it's out, everything else just works the same.
How long did it take you to be back to normal?
Well, I don't know whether it's that I'm weird or what, but I was up hiking in in the hills here in Ventura like 3 days later.
That's wild.
Yeah, 3 days later.
Yeah, I thought
Not
it was
like
going to be
huge
like
hikes, and we went
weeks. Yeah.
slow, but yeah, it was so good. I just took it easy, and we've been building back up, and now I'm back to complete normal
Hmm.
activities. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Did you
think.
feel? Mhm.
Well, I was going to say being a yogi helps a lot with that because, I was very mindful of my pelvic floor, about my abdominal uh, area, and the thought that something was gone now. Where does everything else go? Well, of course, it tries to settle downwards, right? So you have to be mindful of and create a kind of a lift inside.
Oh,
Uh,
weird. Yeah.
yeah. And I hadn't thought really about that until after, when I could feel that happening, where all the bowel is like, hey, look, we've got all this extra space. Let's come on top of the bladder. And the bladder's like, wait a minute, give me my space back. So it's an interesting jostle for power and real estate inside there.
Just sounds like the real world too.
Right. Yes. But I think everything's like now in its rightful place now, and feels perfect.
That's
But
good.
let me tell you about the surgery. Like the
Yeah.
day the day before, I just had a normal life, then fasted, from midnight. Went in early in the morning, very early. Wonderful people there. I knew a lot of the people in the operating prep area. That was so nice. One of my friends, she like greeted me. It was like, hanging out with your friend. Um, so of course you have to get into the gown, the hospital gown, and uh, they don't like you to shave so much as they used to in the past. Like when we're doing a cesarean section, we don't have the women shave every part of the front of their body anymore. Um, because those little wounds that can be left from the razor can become infected, and that then can cause an
Oh,
infection.
interesting.
Yeah. So they're all over preventing infection is so good. And another source of infection, of course, is our nose. Um, So when I was being prepared, I thought that was very interesting. They had this like orange antiseptic type of swab that they were swabbing the insides of my both nostrils,
Oh wow.
because so that if I put my hand to my nostrils and then went down to the wound, I wasn't transferring, bacteria.
Or sneeze.
Yeah,
Yeah, interesting.
yeah. Um, so of course then in recovery, so nice, Johnny was there beside me, uh, and then my surgeon, the obstetrician, Dr. Crownover, came, and he made me feel very relaxed and happy. I was completely relaxed. And then the anesthesiologist, Dr. Laura Levitt, she came, great, my friend as well. So it didn't feel perhaps the way like another person coming in, if you didn't know anybody in the hospital
Scary. Yeah.
and you weren't used to being in a hospital, I'm sure that would be very scary. For me, I was with friends. I felt really well looked after.
That's
Um,
really lucky.
Even the manager of the OR area, she came, and she's my friend. Like I know her for years. She was even doing the orange swabs. So then, anyway, they said, okay, we're going to give you some medication, and you just relax and go to sleep. And when you wake up, it'll be all over. And I'm still in the prep area, and they gave me something into my IV, and I just like, whew,
Yeah.
gone, just gone. And uh, I guess they wheeled me in. They did the surgery. So they did it microscopically, just three little puncture areas in the abdomen, one through the belly button and two down near the lower abdomen groin area. And they're only about this size each, very, very tiny. And and then, of course, dropped the uterus, ovaries, tubes, everything all in one piece through the vagina. Very amazing. Uh,
Ugh.
I have a picture of it I should send you so you can attach it to this.
Sure.
It looks like a dead chicken.
Oh no.
It does. Somebody said, that's like a dead chicken. I said, yeah, it does. But I had loads of fibroids in there. You could see where there was like a big fibroid and then a bunch of little fibroids. So
What are fibroids again?
they're like growths that happen inside in
Mm.
the uterus, um, but they're not cancerous growths.
Okay.
Yeah, and sometimes they bleed a lot. If they get very big, they can cause pain. And I think
Oh
I
wow.
that they did cause me some pain, because now that they're gone, I don't have that kind of tense feeling there. So
Mm.
yeah, so that was interesting to see the picture. But once I woke up, of course, I wanted to get home. That's all I wanted, to get out home, go with Johnny. And I probably slept really deep, for a day or two, and then got up and was walking around, of course, within hours after the surgery. But then tired, very tired. For weeks afterwards, I was very tired. I mean, I was able to get out and go for my hikes and stuff, but not, you know, big hikes,
Yeah.
a mile or two.
I mean, miles plenty.
Yeah, right after surgery. I know, but it was that kind of surgery that you just feel so like normal, just tired. So,
Right.
I'm sure I had a little blood loss, not much, I'm sure, but um, any kind of surgery, you're going to feel a bit tired. So I've been, taking some multivitamins. I've been doing lots of yoga, and
That's what you were really worried about. You wouldn't be able to do
yeah,
your yoga. But
yeah. I think I'm pretty much back to normal. I'm able to do
mhm.
back bends, and like back bends I think are really important in life in general for everybody. Everybody should do a back bend a day, some kind of back bend to keep that spine going. At class today I said that. I said, we are as young as our spine, and one of the women started laughing in the class. She said, tell that to my face. um, but Yeah, I can pretty much do what I could do before. So now I get to build on that.
Yeah,
So yeah, I'm happy about that. Continue on the journey.
that's good.
Yeah. So it went really well. Um,
Yeah.
there was one part I was surprised that I was started to have hot flashes again. Um,
Mm,
so that proved that, of course, my ovaries were still secreting a certain amount of estrogen. I was really surprised at that. So I was taking a little estrogen before the surgery, and I just increased it a little bit.
interesting. So
Yeah.
wait, you started getting the hot flashes before or after?
Well, years ago when I started menopause, of course, I was having hot flashes, night sweats, mood swings, all of the joys of womanhood. And so I started taking a little hormone replacement. And so now I just had to take a little extra
Okay,
estrogen. Yeah.
so that helps.
Yeah. So before the surgery, I was taking estrogen and progesterone because I had a uterus. So we take the progesterone to protect the uterus from developing cancer.
Gotcha.
If you're taking estrogen only, it's a dangerous setup for the uterus as you grow
Okay,
older.
but not now
Not
for any
now.
other
Now
part
I've
of your
stopped
body.
taking the progesterone. I'm just taking a little estrogen, not much, just a little bit. And I feel great. So if you any of you girls listening to this, if you're on the fence about whether to do the surgery, maybe just talk to your whoever's going to do the surgery and see, what options you have. And leading up to your surgery, take time to maybe lose weight if you need to, and work out and do some pelvic floor work. And afterwards, if you're worried, there's pelvic floor physiotherapists. We have a really good podcast with Jen Evans, one of
Hmm.
the pelvic floor physiotherapists here in town, if you want to check that out. So, yeah. Anything else you want to know about, Bridgie?
Um, I don't know. I hadn't prepared anything specific, but I'm just glad to hear that it went well,
Yeah.
and it's good to see that um, it didn't really detract for
Yes.
very long. Like you definitely
Yes.
had to take it easy, but
Yeah.
I was really worried that it would take you out for much longer, and
I
then
know.
it might, I just know that you're a very busybody person, and to not be able to work or do yoga or
Yes.
hike or any of the things that are important to you would probably take a toll. So I'm glad we we
Yes.
didn't have to see that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, darling. And so it reminded me of after having a baby. After having a baby, we always say, "Don't make love." uh, until you get checked by your doctor to make sure everything's healed up in there. So it's usually at the 6 week checkup that they send you home to do whatever you want if everything's healed up. That's what I do. I check and I say, everything's back to normal. Go home and make your love to your husband if you want to. And you don't have to tell him that if you don't want to. You can tell him, Sally said, wait. Wait longer, because of course her mind might not be ready, her vagina might be ready, but her mind might need a little more time. But so it kind of reminded me of that. And everything in that area is all back to normal as well. So
Good.
yeah.
I'm glad.
Yeah. Me too. So is Johnny. Take that
What?
bit out.
No.
Oh
I
my
would
God,
be
everyone will know I make love. Oh my God, I'm a human being. Oh.
just not me. Tell everybody except for
Right.
me. Not listening. Tell them and I won't listen. Um,
You're so funny.
what should I call it? The whole reason it was preventative was because you had tested positive for the BRCA gene, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
I guess my question would be, you know, that is the breast cancer and uterine ovarian potential,
Yes.
right?
Thank you for that. Yes.
But you have
Yeah.
not yet
Yeah.
done anything for, you know, breast
Yes.
prevention. Do you think that's something that you would still consider, or
Well, having the ovaries
yeah?
out does reduce that risk.
Okay.
So that's good. Um, so I probably have to go and see an oncologist. Um, Dr. Crownover strongly recommends that. He said I could stay on my estrogen if I promise to go and talk to that other doctor. Woo! So sorry, we're falling all over the place here. There we are. So I'll keep that promise and I'll let you know how that goes. In the meantime, I'm going to have a mammogram every year, and they're also recommending an MRI every year. So that will keep a really good eye on
So
that.
so in that case, like if there is something spotted, then you could do it then,
Right.
rather
Yes.
than
Rather than to go and straight and do that. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why the mastectomy would be something I really wouldn't want to have rather than, you know, intra-abdominal surgery. What,
well,
like,
it's like a physical seen part of you that you'll see even
yeah,
if other people don't see it.
yeah,
That like I feel like would, at least personally, it would be harder to do that than something that's interior because you don't see it. Like
right.
it might look
Yes,
different than before, but you can't tell.
yes,
Um,
right. I get mad with myself when I think about that kind of reasoning. It's a vanity thing, really, isn't it?
hmm,
But, but right now
I
I'm
think I
fine.
think it's 100% vanity, but also like you're naturally supposed to have them. So to
Right.
not and to
Yes.
have them be removed would also be
Yes. And
unnatural too.
yeah.
So
So it's understandable to resist.
right,
And yeah,
right.
right. So right now everything's great there. And if you have breasts, you should check them every month, do a little breast exam. Just with the pads of your fingers, check in under your arm, come down and check all the tissue, press the tissue back towards the wall, palpate, and maybe make little circles and see if there's anything that feels different to the last time you did it. And you're looking for like hard, irregular shaped lump, maybe that seems to be attached to the chest wall. That's what we're always looking for. Sometimes you'll come across like little cysts, harmless cysts that might feel like a little ball, or breastfeeding moms sometimes feel tubules, but anything at all that feels different or unusual, just come to your doctor's office and get checked and make sure that it's
Right.
nothing to worry about.
Sure.
Yeah.
Great advice.
Mostly when lumps are found that are sinister, uh, are found by women themselves. They come
Hmm.
in and say, I found a lump, or something's hurting, or this doesn't look right.
Mm-hmm.
Other things they could look for an irregular shape. When they look at their breasts in the mirror, one breast might look unusually large or out of shape, um, or the skin on one part of the breast can look dimpled like the skin of an orange.
Oh,
That could be a
interesting.
sign, yeah. Or unusual discharge from the nipples is another sign.
Lots of potentials.
Lots of things to look out for.
Yeah. Check your titties. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my sisters are now starting to get tested for the BRCA gene, and one of them has tested negative, one has tested positive. So she is now going to arrange for a hysterectomy and oophorectomy, the one I had.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm going to see her next month. We're going home to Ireland and we're going
Yeah.
to have a big family reunion and have a big yeehaw.
Yep. Yep. I wish I could join you.
I wish you could. Come on.
It's hard to stop working.
Oh, Bridgie. How's work going?
It's been good. It's been just
Yeah.
consistently busy.
Yeah,
So it's hard to even take a weekend off,
I know.
as you know, but
Yes. Yes,
that's
I
okay.
know. And both of us are so busy. It's so hard to find a time where we can connect like this, to have like a big chunk of time with no distractions and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you've been telling me, go ahead, do it on your own. So we might have to do that for a while. I might carry this forward on my own, but Bridget will be doing the editing in the
Probably
background.
not only, but maybe just so you can do more episodes when I'm not
Yes,
available,
yes.
you'll do them, and then
Uh,
I'll be here when I can.
that's great. Yes. Okay. All right. I hope you will be able to join us because it won't be the same without you. So, as a young woman, now you're so lucky. You know your BRCA gene is negative, right?
Thankfully, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so next week I'm actually going to a lecture about genetic testing.
Okay.
So there's a company that just does, you know, women's health, like the BRCA gene, and then there's another company that this is the one I'm going to the lecture. It's it's about all of the genetics that there's screening out there now that you could get screened for all the different cancers just with one blood test. Isn't that amazing?
That is really good.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Of course, it's expensive, so that's the problem, you know.
Of course.
So the lady who was telling us about this, she came to our office. She's one of the vendors, and she was saying, you know, you could make a gift um, to a relative. You know, here's the gift of your complete genetic screen. Uh,
Wow.
yeah,
That would be a brilliant idea, honestly.
yeah. I think Dr. Diesfeld that I work with, himself and his wife, they're going to exchange a gift of the
Oh.
genetic screen.
How much is it, you think?
It's over $1,000.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay. I mean, it's higher, but
yeah,
I think it is also not as high as I was expecting. I thought you might say like 5 grand or something,
yeah.
but
But when you think about things like pancreatic cancer, if you're able to, that's one of the ones they're able to pick up.
mm-hmm.
And wouldn't it be great to know that you're at high risk of getting that?
Yeah, that's actually
Because
really amazing.
yeah, because usually when you have that, it's well into the cancer by the time it's discovered.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, cancer isn't
Brilliant.
actually an area that I'm very fluent in, that it's, you know, something that I'm happy that I don't see too much of it. But um, I do know a little bit about it, but not as much as I would like, you know, so I want to educate myself more now.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, you've got your wealth of knowledge with babies, so
There's
any
babies.
any
Oh my
extra
gosh.
is just bonus.
September's been so busy because it's 9 months after Christmas and New Year's. So we had this big pile of babies, right? Because I guess they're very, you know, sexy holidays. You know, people make love a lot during those holidays.
This, the weeks off
The
of work.
Christmas, the New Year's, um, 4th of July is another one, 9 months after 4th of July. Course, Valentine's Day. And did I tell you one year we had a really busy night and we were like, what holiday was that? And it was St. Patrick's Day. We didn't know we had a sexy holiday in Ireland, but there we are.
It's the holidays where people drink more.
Of course. Yeah.
Then everybody is sexy. So thank you guys for listening or watching. We'll do our best to put out some more episodes coming
Yes.
soon. If you like this one, please share it or like it. Give us a comment or suggestions and questions for future episodes. And we'll see you in the next one.
Yes,
Thank you.
and I have a few ladies who want to talk to me about their traumatic birth experience, and I think that it will help other women who've had traumatic births, and also we'll pick up a few tips on how to prevent having a traumatic birth. So that's coming down the pipeline.
Amazing. Don't forget to subscribe.
All right, thanks a million for being there.
Thanks a million.
Bye. So thanks again for listening. We really appreciate it. And if you like what we're doing, give us a bit of a review on Apple. That would help us so much. And if you come across a subscribe button, press the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything.